Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Greetings, cool boy Bat Nation from the Pacific Northwest, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond.
What?
A Cool Boys podcast. I'm Ballard. You said on before you even said your name. What's your name?
Steve.
Are you? What's going on with you? Oh my God. What's going on over there? So Steve and I are not together for this episode. I'm on my travels. I'm on my trip, up through Pacific Northwest, checking it out. Seeing.
So you have access to the video from where you're at, man?
Mm-hmm.
What are you watching it on?
I brought my laptop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm doing this all on my laptop. Yeah.
And you have Wi-Fi on this trip that you're having?
Yes, I know. Oh my God, are you okay? What happened?
Don't worry, man. I just like.
What the fuck happened on your end? I just say ow, dude.
It's a little weird in here with it being like all by myself. I'm like used to.
Are you stabbing yourself? Are you cutting yourself or something? Are you depressed? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
What's going on? I'm not there, so I don't know what the hell you're doing, dude. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm just watching it. I brought my Batman with me. I brought a couple things with me, a couple suitcases full of some important things, just to have with me. I like to keep my most valuable stuff and, my most precious things with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I travel.
So
one of the things was I brought my laptop along with all my Batman episodes.
I've had some like stuff in the studio, so I don't know, man. It was like there was like some cookies here.
There's some cookies?
Uh-huh.
Wait, are you high?
I think so, man.
What? I want some.
Well, you should have stayed here at the studio.
I want some cookies. Well, I'm trying to do a little bit more of trying to live a little more straight edge right now.
You really? Like, so you're gonna like beat up people that are high and stuff? Or that do drugs?
Yeah, you're lucky I'm not next
straight
to you.
Straight edge?
I would beat on you if I was there right
yeah?
now.
Oh, man.
I'd beat on you so good.
Well,
I'd beat all over you.
That sounds like you're gonna masturbate on me.
Dude, I'll beat on you and then I'll beat in you.
Whoa, so that's not really beating on me. That's like sounding like you're gonna have sex with me. I don't like how that sounds. No.
Are you ready for this? Dude.
I think you're gonna have a fun time though, in where you're going, where you're trying to run from.
I'm not running. Shut the fuck up, dude. Don't make the insinuation. That's not.
I'm high, man.
I don't want LA.
Don't worry about me.
Don't
worry about what I'm saying. I just ate some cookies.
Yeah, right. But seriously, I don't really want the 5-0 like fucking bugging me. Okay.
I understand what you're saying. I just meant you were running from like your
Stop
sobriety.
Stop saying running.
Okay.
Stop it.
Well, you're insinuating more than I am. I'm just saying you're running from your problems.
You stoned is seriously not good for
you're just running from problems.
My situation and the fact that I don't want to talk about it.
Well, let's just like, man, let's just do this thing.
All right. We're talking far too much about this up front.
It
All right.
should be about a person running away from his problems.
Stop saying running. Tonight's episode is Read My Lips. No New Taxes.
Ooh,
directed by
topical.
Boyd Kirkland, the great Boyd Kirkland. Story by Alan Burnett and Michael Reeves. And teleplay by Joe R. Lansdale. This episode came out May 10th, 1993. and this week's villain is the Ventriloquist. Wikipedia says a brand new gang has made its debut, committing the slickest crimes ever. Wow, really? Slickest crimes ever?
They are pretty slick.
Thanks to the gang. They're so slick.
I was impressed.
I was too. I was really impressed with the second crime the most, actually.
I liked the first one.
Thanks to the gang's leader, Scarface. It's up to Batman to stop Scarface and his dummy, in quotes, the Ventriloquist.
Spoiler alert.
Serious spoiler alert. Steve, so I want to point something else out real quick that we have here right at the beginning.
This great boxing match?
Yeah, there's a boxing match, right? And there's a manager counting his money, and that manager is voiced by Joe Piscopo, and all he says is, "Not a bad night's take."
Really? That's funny.
That's it. And then later, when the lights go out on them, he says, "Hey." That's it. They hired Joe Piscopo to do a voice, and all he says is, "Not a bad night's take."
I wonder if he was just like a fan of Batman or a friend of the show, a friend of somebody's.
Yeah, must be, because you know what? He wasn't actually even.
He was uncredited. He was also Muggsy, according to my notes too. I just looked this up.
So Muggsy, I think, is one of the hired goons.
Yeah.
For, Ventriloquist. Yeah. Interesting. Well, yeah. So we get this new gang, right, with slick crimes, and they have headlines, and the headlines say things like "Gotham Square Garden robbed," "Art Museum heist well coordinated." I love that one. Well coordinated. Like, they're almost like giving them props for it. Like, hey, nice job, actually. And then the last headline was, "Where will the new gang strike next?"
I thought, that first robbery with you have this giant man breaking through the wall and climbing up that shaft.
Rhino.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Rhino's actually a really cool character. I like Rhino.
And then it was all well-timed, and they jump into that bed where they probably should have died. But at first, you're thinking maybe it's like what that guy that was, because he was like looking at his watch and it was all well-timed. Maybe it was the Clock Man or whatever his name was.
Oh, the Clock King.
The Clock King.
Right. Yeah, this could be a Clock King. Well, it's not. It's a villain we've never seen before, the Ventriloquist. And the reality is the Ventriloquist is an incredible mastermind.
Now, do you remember seeing this one as a kid?
Yes.
I liked this as a kid, but it was one of those ones where it was definitely like silly, because the goons believed in the dummy as.
Well, they don't and they do. Like, Rhino believes in the dummy, but then like the other two are kind of like, dude, it's a dummy, right? Like, it's not it's a puppet. And Rhino's like, dude, don't say that. No, man, it's not a puppet or whatever. Like, there's conflict within the hired goons themselves of like what's real, what isn't. I mean, there's conflict within Batman himself about what's real and what isn't even. Like, Batman almost buys into it based on how the hired goons react, to the point where he actually goes in and checks later, right? And when he checks, the fucking little like puppet's eyes open up, and Batman's like freaked out for him. Like, oh shit! I
know, it was funny. That was a good joke. I like that because the whole thing is like, is he possessed? Like, he's doing it so good. The ventriloquist is so amazing. He's able to throw his voice and.
Yeah, Batman makes a mention about that later. He says like that essentially Zatara, who the magician he learned from, would be blown away and would learn something from how good this ventriloquist is.
Yeah, a little throwback to the Zatanna episode.
Yeah, that was nice. I liked that, and that's kind of nice to have a little something like that has
some continuity.
Yeah. We're watching Batman in the Batcave do a little detective work, and he's finding out stuff. And one of the things he says is like about how amazing they are, Steve. Right? He's like they're clever. Masks, gloves, no way to be identified. that's all it takes.
I know.
That's all it takes in the end. Just masks and gloves, and you fucking just solved it. Like you can get away with crime. It's not that easy, Steve. All right, I can tell you, it's not that fucking easy.
Yeah.
It is not that easy.
But I love how he has this.
But that's how he gets it, though.
He has a Blade Runner computer. He uses his Blade Runner searching capabilities to enhance and quadrant 0325 enhance till he.
Enhance, yeah.
Until he finally.
I love in Blade Runner when he does those. By the way, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You can make an entire ASMR video out of like Deckard essentially enhancing. and checking out photos.
And you're just like, what did he just find? There's a reflection within a reflection and a reflection? And you're just...
He saw that, someone was in the shower with a snake? What?
It's like, what is going on? That's insane.
That's Blade Runner. In this, it's actually, he just sees that it's a rhino tattoo.
He's a rhino tattoo. And then he's able to have some amazing computer, connection to the prison, to the police records of tattoos.
Well,
do they do that? Do they have a database of
For
locally
sure.
known tattoos that belong to felons?
Yeah, everyone has a different tattoo. No one has the same tattoo twice.
Rhino. Well, obviously he has a rhino tattoo.
I do think that they make an effort to take photos of tattoos and put them in your file.
Yeah, you're probably right. That would make sense. You would know, right?
I have no tattoos, so I don't have any tattoos, so they didn't do that at least.
Well, not that we know of.
You think I have a tattoo on my butthole or something that I'm not aware of? Is that what you're suggesting? After my time in... I mean Valverde. We're still saying that, Valverde.
Maybe, yeah.
Until
worse.
whatever the fuck goes down, all the way finally goes down, it's Valverde as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I like how he totally tricks Rhino, the idiot. So he tells...
Who tricks Rhino?
Batman. And tails
in the
him.
alley?
Yeah, he gets him all riled up and then runs away and then just tails him.
And then immediately runs from the cop, which is like against the law, but
well, that's
whatever.
Batman.
He gets away with it. He gets a fucking away with shit.
Well, the cops just let him go too. They're like, "Hey, get out of here, Rhino."
Well, yeah, mainly because they just don't want to fucking deal with him because they're scared shitless of Rhino.
He's a pretty big guy.
He is huge. They do a really good job of making him feel real, authentic, and large at the same time.
He towers over
fits the
Batman.
world. He towers over everyone in this episode.
I
It's
love
amazing.
Batman's shock though when he first sees the dummy. He is
The
like
dummy
blown
comes out.
away.
He does the classic, like Batman face, yeah, and then he kind of like he's not sure what to believe, right? He's immediately thinking this has got to be fake, but then he's like, but wait, I don't know. Who knows? What do you think? Do you think it's possessed, or do you
No,
think
it's a
fully
multiple
ventriloquist?
personality. He's just a really good. It's what he says later on in the episode.
So Batman says that too. Multiple personality syndrome disorder. I think it's technically was just multiple personality disorder.
Yeah,
syndrome.
or whatever.
The new name for it, right? The proper PC version of this, dissociative identity disorder.
Okay.
Yes. And you know what, Steve? It's actually a controversy that people believe it's not.
Yeah,
real.
I know.
It's like they're totally making this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if it is real? That how shitty that would be to just constantly be like this. They're making this up, But I guess some people still believe that it's likely it is caused from stress and trauma and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That people's psyche split
Breaks.
and twine.
Well, that still is like some sort of multiple personality, isn't it?
Does that upset you, Steve?
No, you know what upsets me more is just Batman planting a illegal bug without a warrant.
Oh, really? Yeah,
that.
Wait, okay, hang on.
That pads my
Why
hide.
is Batman whispering to the ventriloquist?
He's giving
aka
him
dummy, right? When the doll is not real.
It's the benefit of the doubt, because he
In case the doll is real.
he's giving him the ventriloquist because he wants to play with him, So the ventriloquist
he's teasing him.
doesn't know that he believes that the dummy's alive, so he doesn't want to give, break that relationship. So
you know what it sounds like? It sounds like we have 2 episodes now in which Batman essentially screws with and beats on people
that
with
have
mental
psychiatric
illness.
problems. Well, that's why they waited to do this later on, because that's basically the issue of all these people is that's why they're villains.
So Batman's just beating on people
it's
with
all these
mental
people
illness.
that have mental illness problems.
I have mental illness, yeah.
But they've turned to violence.
Will stop
Well,
having mental illness. He's breaking
they
their
shouldn't be
teeth
committing
in.
crimes, even though they're mentally ill. They need to be, that's why, they should be sent to some sort of place to
Fuck you, dude.
asylum,
I could be
right?
sent.
Maybe if you're mentally ill, you
Fuck
could get away with what you're trying to do.
Really?
You know what? Yeah, I mean, you gotta talk with your new representation, your new attorney.
All right.
But that the insanity defense is always a good one.
So maybe I don't need to go on my trip anymore if that's I could do that.
Oh, so now you admit this, but you know what that means is that you would probably be locked away in an insane asylum like Arkham.
I don't want to do that.
You'll be amongst the gods of Janus.
Oh, you mean like last week's episode, Maxie Zeus? Yeah. Well, I don't.
You might have a fun time there. You know, there's a lot of cool people. They have Wi-Fi. We could keep doing our show.
Can you send me some representation?
So, what do you mean representation? Oh, you want me to get like? I
can
already
you
gave
send me
you
some recommendations?
I did already. You need me to do it again?
You sent me recommendations? When? Last week?
When we first got these problems, and I found out that you had a problem that I can't help you.
Emails. I didn't read your emails. Sorry.
You don't read my emails. It hurts.
Well, they're boring.
And I text you. You know, your I text you in a grammatical way where I start off with a dear Michael, and then I comma, and then enter.
It's why it's so boring.
And then I'm
literally.
I am contacting you pursuant to the conversation that I had with you on such and such day, and it's not my fault that you don't read my emails.
Why don't you fucking not have boring emails?
Well, you should still read them because
I don't have to read boring shit.
I was saying I have to talk to you in my lawyerly fashion, and I was saying I can't help you. Here are people that can. I guess I should have said it in that fashion, but I was like pursuant to the request.
How many emails and texts did you send? Because I obviously didn't get any of them, but can you resend me emails then that I need?
Just look.
I'll read them
why
this
don't you just
time.
look for them? What, are you deleted them?
Dude, I don't want to look for them.
Oh, no, I'm not going to help you out.
I'll read them, I promise.
Just, just be insane. That's what I'm saying, man.
So just yell that out and
declare insanity. Maybe try and bite your fingers or like your ear off or some sort of bodily harm to yourself.
All right.
So one of the things I liked about this episode was that they actually trapped Batman, and Batman fell for it.
So then we're in the second heist now, and it's my favorite heist, mostly because they show them using acid to enter the ship to get this platinum order. Steve, why did you like the first heist the most? What was your favorite point about that?
Why I like the first heist?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay, it doesn't matter then. Anyway, so I thought what was interesting though with the platinum one was not only was it cleverly set up how they actually were gonna do the quote unquote heist, but also how it turned into a double cross on Batman in a way that he wasn't expecting it. They set him up, right? But they set him up by killing him under tons of platinum. What the fuck? How did Batman survive that death? I don't understand that.
He has Kevlar bat suit or whatever.
Kevlar saves you from tons of fucking metal falling on top of you. I doubt it.
I think that it probably helps with the brunt impact.
Right.
Just it would help with the brunt impact of a bullet.
My
or something,
asshole,
right?
helps with the impact of a bullet. Okay, that is not true. There's no fucking way that Batman died in this episode. It was very sad. It was a horrible death. He was crushed under bullions of fucking platinum. Anyways, so it was an interesting thing though. They did set him up, right?
Yeah, I was impressed. I thought that was pretty interesting that they, that this heist was really to trap Batman. They was basically saying that later on after Batman's captured, that he knew he was being recorded.
Right. Yeah. Batman. We thought Batman was pulling a fast one on the dummy, the ventriloquist, right? By thinking that he was playing games with him, but reality was they share the same brain. So it is is dissociative identity disorder all conspiracy? Is it all fake? Does this episode prove?
Well, he said that the dummy told him. He was the dummy. He was the ventriloquist was or the dummy was the whatever his name is told me about it. Told me that you. I forget exactly what he said.
Nice. Well, I like
Yes.
that Batman then cuts off Scarface's hand, and then the hired goon tries to shoot Batman, but then just guns down Scarface the doll. But
know.
rather than stopping early on and realizing he didn't shoot Batman,
He just
he
takes
kept
him.
shooting forever and ever and ever.
I think I would do the same thing. It was a little creepy. I'd be like, once I
as
start
the hired
shooting him.
goon, just be like, "Fuck this, dude! That was weird." And then the episode ends with the ventriloquist being, sent to Arkham Asylum, as Steve was mentioning earlier. Pleading insanity, I guess. And once again at Arkham Asylum, what do they do for rehabilitation? They give you your vice. That's right. Does someone like making puppets and doing that kind of shit? I don't know. Let them make more puppets. Do they like poisonous plants? Let them play with them in prison. It does not matter. How about this? Do they have an attachment to a coin that kind of drives them insane? Give them that coin and let them flip it all day long.
I think it's healthy. I think they're doing a good way.
They just break out. These
treating
villains
people.
and rogues just break out eventually and cause more mayhem.
Well, they're not there to keep them inside. They're there to
Isn't
treat
that
them.
a little bit what The Dark Knight Returns is about with the Joker's character, like where they actually like claim he's been rehabilitated and then he comes out and he just fucking does his final acts of killing?
This isn't Dark
The
Knight Returns,
is so
man.
fucking good. All right, well, I'll just say real quickly my rating of this episode is 4 out of 5 boys. Once again, looking at it coming up in the order, I was just like,
But then you enjoyed it because 4 out of 5 is
But I
pretty
loved
good.
it. I really loved it. I did. I loved it, and I liked it more than I thought I was going to again. It's a nice little one-off again, and I don't understand why Batman beats on mental illness again and again, but he does. But one of the things that really made this episode cool was there's this beautifully crafted shot in the second act when Batman's sneaking in to Scarface's bedroom, where you see like the curtains blowing in the wind, and then all of a sudden Batman's cape blows in the wind, and then it blows out of the shot with the curtains, but then it blows back into the shot with the curtains, but this time it engulfs the frame in darkness, and then when it swoops away, what we see is now a different angle of the bedroom, and then we pan with Batman over to the bed, and then we see like all these beautiful shots of Scarface, and then Scarface's eyes opening. It's a little bit of a jump scare for kids kind of thing. Like it's this really
Oh, for
cool
sure.
atmosphere they developed for that scene, and I'm not gonna say that there's a whole boy because of that, but I mean there might as well be, I guess, realistically. So it was like a 3.5 out of 5 boy episode, but maybe that one shot and that one little setup, along with the fact that they hold through the whole episode with the reality that they set forth of this being a doll is it's worth that extra 0.5 boys.
Very interesting take. I give it 3 out of 5.
You hated it.
Oh, well, hate is a strong word, but I enjoyed it as a one-off, but it was a little, straightforward, I guess.
So cool.
I did like the reference to Zatara.
Yeah, that's nice. The only one we have until Justice League, I think, right? Or Justice League Unlimited. Is that when we see her again? Is Justice League Unlimited? I think that's the next time we see Zatanna, unless she's in a Superman episode. I don't think she's in any other Batman stuff coming up.
Let me see.
And I don't
here.
recall her being in Justice League. But I do think she was in Justice League Unlimited because that's when they expanded their roster to all the smaller characters.
Oh no, she's has a cameo in Chemistry in the new Batman Adventures.
Oh, really? So she's in season 3. Wow, interesting. Okay, she's in season 3 of Batman the Animated Series.
You know what? Actually, I want to give my thing up to 4.
Whoa! This is the
I-
second week in
yeah,
a row
I'm gonna-
that you've upped it to my rating.
I guess so. Yeah. Because I was thinking about we forgot to note 2 things. That darn cookie, I guess. The whole throwing your voice, like Batman does it later on, but they show him like moving his mouth a lot more so, and they had the ventriloquist when he's doing it, like he's not really moving his mouth at all, and he's able to throw his voice into another room. It was impressive.
That is a weird scene because that's like the only point where you're kind of like, wow, he's really good.
Like
He's
that's
really
crazy.
good.
That's crazy good. He's throwing his voice like it's out behind a wall,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I know. How do you do that? That's impossible.
That's insane,
impossible.
right?
Yeah.
And then, how did Batman mimic the guy's voice? That's also pretty impressive,
I
too.
don't know. Maybe he's just playing audio. He's just doing trickery.
No, he's moving his mouth. They did a close-up of Batman's mouth, and Batman's like
I don't
moving
know if
his
you
lips.
trust everything Batman does, buddy.
What? Batman is like Batman. Yeah, you think he's a bad
He
guy?
hired Alfred.
Alfred's a good guy.
No, he's not.
Alfred is a
No,
good
he's
guy.
not.
You know who's not a good
Don't
guy?
you fucking say me.
So you would know that I'm
It
going
sounds like
there
that's where you're
because-
going. Yes.
because
All right,
you know
fuck
you're
you.
not a
Well,
good
thank
guy.
God, we're almost done with this season. Cool. So
Ooh.
cool.
Well, no. I'm excited. I'm excited for Mask of Phantasm, the movie.
So,
Oof!
So
I can't
good.
wait. I can't wait to
So
watch that
cool.
with you. We need to do it at like backyard
yeah, we
camping
should.
or
So
something.
filled.
Get some popcorn
Some cream pies.
and eat some cream pies.
Ew,
With
Steve, that's gross.
popcorn.
Ew.
What did I say?
Great
What did I
cream
say?
pie
What did I
stuff,
do?
Steve. Cool Boy Nation, tune in next
Oh,
week.
no.
Same cream pie
The
time.
bat.
Same
This
cream
bat.
pie channel. Cool Boy Bat Nation, be sure to let us bat know what you bat thought of. Read my lips. Or what your favorite bat episode is by bat emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes come out every Tuesday. Also, please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with the Cool Boys podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Cool Boys. Also, review us on iTunes. You can donate to us on Patreon. It only costs $1, and you will receive special access to content too hot to air. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at www.patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Bat Nation. Until next time, it's Bices from Cream Pie Ballard.
Biases from Steven.
Cream Pie Steven.
I don't know what it means now.
Steve! No, you should be, likes to eat cream pie Steve.
You're a cream pie.
This is a children's show.
This podcast is definitely not. I tried to play it for my child, and immediately I was like, you know what? This is probably not the best.
Don't you dare play this for your child. This is horrible shit. No one should listen to this.
I don't know if it's horrible, but
garbage.
it definitely
This is garbage.
has some inappropriate.
This is
language.
garbage.
Well, it gets me to smile when I listen to it.
Yeah, my life falling apart and crumbling. Yeah.
I like to listen to the saga of you becoming.
You're part of the saga of me, you asshole, and you're helping in my saga get more terrible.
You know, I'm hearing some resentment.
You're not fucking helping me. You're not representing me in this time, but it doesn't matter because everything's gonna work out perfectly.
I thought that's why you're going on this, trip that you are, is to get a
I'm
clear
going on
head.
this trip to get some R and
Yeah,
R.
so why are you throwing some shade my way?
Because I could have really used your help, and I am
Just
now
relax.
having to take things in my own way.
Just
in
relax.
My own hands. What did
Yeah,
Maxie
that's
just said? I make my own laws. That's kind of what I'm doing now.
I'm
making my own laws on the road. On the road, there are no laws.
you gotta follow the laws of the country that you're in and the state.
No, I think I'm going to believe in my new rule that on the road there are no laws.
Okay.
So cool.
Batman
And beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
and beyond.